It's about real life plumbing, real world plumbing. I'm just basically showing you everything that goes on in my days as a plumber, jobbing plumber, reactive plumber, just in and around my local town. I have a lot of people asking quite a lot about my van, branding on my van, how Pimlico Plumbers have helped me to brand my business. So I've got obviously toilet, and I've also got cistern. He was the inspiration behind me getting some plumbing plates. For business, it's just so good. It's a talking point. What's happening at the moment is people are cutting the doors out or cutting the roof out. It's a great preventative alarm. If someone was to come up to the van and try to break into it, hit it with a screwdriver or whatever, you get this. Phone's in the house, but it will ping a message now to my phone saying there's been noise detected inside the van. If they tap on the top of the van, you'll also get that as well, and it'll go off. Right, hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, thanks for subscribing. And if you're old to the channel, you'll know what this channel's all about anyway. It's about real life plumbing, real world plumbing. I'm just basically showing you everything that goes on in my days as a plumber, jobbing plumber, reactive plumber, just in and around my local town and that sort of stuff. Right, going off the back of the last video I did, as some of you know, if you've watched it, if you haven't, I'll bang a link up into the corner. But brand new into the year, 2022, did one day at work and come down with COVID, didn't I? So I've been off for 6 days now. Yeah, working out 6 days. I've done a test today, so I'm clear today. I'm negative today. So tomorrow, if I've got another test negative, I'm free to go out and I'm free to go. But what I wanted to do, because obviously I've not been plumbing this week, there's no sort of plumbing content for you. But I have a lot of people asking quite a lot about my van, what is it, and all that sort of stuff. So I want to just give a little bit of an overview of my van, my branding on my van, and how people like Pimlico Plumbers have helped me to brand my business. So we're going to go through that today, have a bit of a look round, see. I'll give you some info on my van as well, because a lot of people say it's a smart van, I bet it costs a fortune. I lease the van, so I'll go through the details and the pricing of what I pay to have this van. Right, so what we've got here is Vauxhall long wheelbase Vivaro. It's the new shape Vivaro. I had the old shape Vivaro before this, sort of like a 64 plate, I think my old one was. This is the new style, so it's based on, I think Peugeot do one, Citroen do one, Toyota do one, and Vauxhall. It's basically the same van. 2020 long wheelbase Vauxhall Vivaro. It's the Sportive model, so it has got the colour coded bottom bits down the bottom. The bumper on the front's colour coded, and it's got things inside like Apple CarPlay as standard. Got Apple CarPlay here when it all fires up, and all that sort of sports seats, all that. I mean, I'm a bit of a car guy anyway, as people will know if they follow my Instagram or stuff like that. You'll know I'm a bit of a car guy. I've always liked cars and this, that, and the other. So for me, I spend a lot of my time in my van, majority of my time in my van. So I've done things like put the 20-inch rotiform wheels on it. I put a split around the front just to lower that front end. Got a personalised number plate, toilet number plate. I've also got cistern. So this harks back to my whole thing about how Pimlico Plumbers helped me do my branding. I'm a massive number plate fan. I love a private number plate. I know they're not for everyone, but for me, I just like them. I'm a little bit quirky. I've got a lot of ones to do with my name and stuff, but I've recently started buying up, or recently, I've had these a good few years, buying up quirky plates. So I've got obviously toilet, and I've also got cistern. I had Boglord BO61 ORD, which I sold. Boglord, great. I would say if you can afford it and you're inclined to do it, the branding behind having a private plate or a personalised plate related to your business is massive. As I said, Charlie Mullins and his whole Pimlico plumbing fleet, when he owned it, he's obviously just sold it for 145 million or something like that. He was the inspiration behind me getting some plumbing plates. So in a way, Pimlico Plumbers has outbranded my company. Yes, I suppose it has. But for business, it's just so good. It's a talking point. People go, look at that van that says toilet on it. So there's it just brings in a lot of subliminal marketing, if you like, and then once you've got that in people's consciousness locally, then they'll go, oh, there's that plumber with that van, I want him to do some work for me. So I would say, if you can, get yourself a quirky plumbing number plate. I know there's a lot of gas plates about and initials and stuff like that, but for me, I've got the toilet, I've got cistern. I'll bang a picture up of the cistern as well. Let's just say they weren't cheap plates, and I've been offered outrageous amounts of money for them, but they're staying because obviously it's what I do. So when I first got the van, I completely detailed it, completely polished it, paint corrected it, detailed it, and ceramic coated it. So now when I come to wash it, it just washes so easy and it just looks dead presentable. Because for me, it's all about presentation and branding. I say they've got the logo. Now where I am locally, if you see the orange and black of anything really, people instantly think of me and my van and my brand. It's things like, even down to the calipers of the wheels, colour coded them, and again the back of it, you know, not too. A lot of people say about the chevron sort of style things down the side. Peugeot did a sporty van similar to this, and they had from the factory similar styling nods to that, so I sort of tweaked them a little bit and made them the same as my logo, and it just works a little bit. So for this van, what was this van? I think brand new, this van was about 28-30 grand. Now what I've done with this, I've leased it on a rental contract basically. So in theory, I'm just renting the van. But what I pay, I got it through VANOLARM about 2 years ago. It was brand new. It got delivered and it had, I think it's about 7 mile on the clock or something like that. So through VANOLARM, I put down £800 and it cost me 240 quid a month. That's it. Obviously, I've got to pay for servicing, but servicing's every 2 years or every 20,000 mile. MOTs, when they start, I haven't had an MOT on it yet because it's still too new. Tax, because it's a rental, I'm literally renting it off the company for 5 years, so I've got it over 5 years. Because it's a rental, I don't pay any road tax on it, they pay the tax because it's in effect their vehicle. So all I've got to do is basically insure it, run it. If it needs things like tyres, brakes and stuff like that, obviously you have to maintain it like that. But yeah, it's basically as cheap as that. You know, you'll pull up on sites. I had it the other day actually, the plasterer's like, fucking hell, the plumber's doing all right, here's his van. So it's 800 quid down, 240 quid a month for 5 years. Absolute no-brainer. And it's all tax deductible as well against your tax. So because it's a rental vehicle, it's 100% tax deductible against offsetting against your tax at the end of the year, which is a bonus. So yeah, so that's that. You know, I love my van. I like being in it. It's nice to have a new van. It's nice to get up in the morning, get into a nice new van, and it just gets you set for the week. And also, you pull up on someone's driving like that, and it's a catch-22. They can either say, "Oh, we've got to pay for that. Someone's doing all right, rah rah rah." But what I find now is a lot of people want a tradesman with a nice van outside their house. Plus, because this stands out, it just generates work for me anyway. So that's the basis behind that. So yeah, I know there are companies out there, and I even know people that have got the new Transit Sport or whatever it is. But I know they've paid things like 3.5 grand down, 3,500 quid a month. But for me, that at 800 quid down, 240 quid a month was an absolute no-brainer. So that's why that lives in the fleet. I'd love to get another couple more vans, but you know, obviously that's expanding the business, which is a whole different video altogether. But yeah, branding wise, it just works. I would always say to someone, brand as much as you can. Brand your van, because if that's traveling around locally around your estate or where you live or your town or your city, people see that van about all the time. It's not like a plain van. I understand why people have vans with no sign writing on. They're worried that they're going to get broken into and this, that and the other. But for me, I'm proud of my business, so I'm proud to have my name on my van and have it showcasing what I do. So that's the sort of the basis behind that. That sort of nods me back as well to a lot of people have asked about the alarm that I've put on the van. Now let me show you, because it's a cracking bit of kit. So let's lock the van up and let's arm it with the van alarm. So the van alarm, I did a video, again I'll link it up into the corner. It was basically a cheap van alarm that senses any movement on any doors. Now what it is, what's happening at the moment is people are cutting the doors out or cutting the roof out and nicking your tools and stuff like that. Whereas this system I've got on here, it's not faultless, but it's a great preventative alarm, I think, for our van. So it's armed up now. If someone was to come up to the van and try to break into it, hit it with a screwdriver or whatever, you get this. So the first noise would hopefully make them go, shit, there's an alarm on that. But also what that will do is ping, my phone's in the house, but it will ping a message now to my phone saying there's been noise detected inside the van. So if they do it again, that's the first time. If they do it again, it sets the alarm off inside the van. Now all three doors in my van are protected like that. The back doors, the side doors, but also, let me rearm it again. What they've started doing now is going through the roof on a lot of vans, is cutting a panel on the roof so that when you get up in the morning and you come to your van, you unlock it, you've got physically no idea that they've been in your van. Whereas this system, you've got the sensitivity, you can tweak the sensitivity, and what it is if they tap on the top of the van, you'll also get that as well, and it'll go off. So what that does now, it pings, because it's sensing noise and vibration in the van, it will have pinged a message from my phone. My phone will be buzzing now. I should have brought it out, but it'll be buzzing now telling me that there's noise detecting the van. So if that goes off at 2 o'clock in the morning, come running down in your pants and hopefully stop someone stealing all your tools out of your van. I have had it, the odd time a cat's jumped on the roof, but I'd rather come out and make sure my van's all right the odd couple of times it happens with that than worrying. As for wind and rain and stuff like that, that doesn't send it off. That doesn't set the alarm off either, so it's all good. So yeah, so that alarm, I say I bang a link up into the corner. I've got a full review on it. It's things like now and again you will get the sender unit inside there. It's got a SIM card. It basically, every time it pings your phone, it costs 1p. Now you just put a SIM card in there. I think you put £10 credit on it, and I mean, I've had it 3 months, 4 months now, and I've not even had to top it up yet. So, you know, every time it sends a message to you, it's 1p. You'd rather £10 every 4 months just for that peace of mind, knowing that your van is protected, or as best protected as can be. It's things like that though, but you have to, because it constantly monitors the van. When I get in it in the morning, I go onto the app for the alarm and just disable the sensors. Not disable the sensor, I just go into the app on my phone in the morning and just disable the alarm. Then if I pull up outside someone's house and I'm going to be in there for an hour or so, just go onto the app, click arm, and it's again arm the back of the van up. Otherwise you'll be driving along and the alarm will be pinging notifications to your phone saying there's noise or vibrations. But the alarm's 150 quid, so if that is, you know, if you've got to do that every time you get in your van, it's not a problem at all for the safety you get in your van. So yeah, so that was basically just a little bit of an overview of my van branding and a bit of an alarm catch up. A few people have asked about that. Sorry it's not plumbing on this video, but as we said, I've had the Rona. I should be all right tomorrow, so next week we can get back over to the barn and crack on. So hope it's been a little bit insightful for you, and thanks for watching, and there's more plumbing content coming very soon. So catch you later.